Good evening, everybody. I'm back. I know it's been a while again. I'm still kind of getting over a bit of a cold that I've got. I seem to have given it to Helen, so she's not thanking me for that at all. Everybody in the office up at in Redditch is full of the cold as well. So great to be back, everybody. I will say a few hellos to everybody. We've got Hazel, Jeanette, Nicola, Trudy. Wow, oh, Helen's there in the background typing away. Like to see that. We've got quite a few people watching, so thank you very much for joining in tonight. Now, obviously, you know that we've got a brand new website, which is visibleimage.com. The new website, you will want, or you will need, if you've already signed up before, you will need to sign up again, because obviously with the changes it wouldn't allow us to transfer all your data to the new website. So to register you will have to sign in again. But I do believe, now don't quote me on this, I do believe that there's a pop-up that comes up giving you possibly a discount on your first order. So hence that would be a first order because you're new to the website. Please do check that out. There are lots of products on that website, including some Tim Holtz products as well now. So that's great. I know it's a first for us as well, isn't it? Inks as well. So what next, you may wonder. Good question. CM Hawkins is here as well. So thank you again. Yes, Helen said yes. It has been a while, and I don't. I've got to apologise for that. But now I'm seriously ramping up. I've got a few new designs to finish off for the next release, which is looking pretty cool indeed. So I can't wait to show you that one. In the meantime, let's have a look at what I'm going to create tonight. So basically, I'm going to get myself back into creating. So I'm going to use one of my most famous and favourite stencils. Is the eye contact stencil. It's a great stencil. A lot of detail in that stencil as well, and there's a lot you can do with it, especially whether you're doing mixed media or simple card making. It is so iconic. It's a gorgeous image. I'm also going to combine that with, I'm going to take a sentiment from the Better Days Ahead. Again, a great set, really good set. Oh, my used set as well. We have some great sentiments. I like Perception versus Reality. Better Days Ahead, obviously. We have Kindness Always Wins, More Love, Less Hate, and Chase Your Dreams. I like that one. Chase Your Dreams. Good. And it's got a couple of nice little elements in there. Star, heart, big star, and the arrow. I like that arrow. Very useful, that. They are really cool as well. In another set as well, which is the bold sentiments. So please do take a look at that because they really work well with that as well. Also, I'm going to probably do let me just turn. So the plan this evening is to do 2 cards, similar but a couple of different techniques. One obviously using texture paste, the other not using texture paste. One using sprays, the other just blending through. So again, whatever your favorite technique is, you can take that away or combine them both. So that's the idea. So 2 cards, very similar, different sentiments, but and different products used as well. So that's where we get that. So I'm going to use one of the sentiments from this. Is a Brave and Strong set. Really nice indeed. Again, some really cool sentiments on there. Scars are just a reminder of the battles we have won. Love that one. Close your eyes to the past. Open your mind to new beginnings. That. I'm going to use that one tonight. Again, I like that as well. Find courage. Be brave. Have faith. Stay strong. Again, this is always a good one. No matter how you feel, get up, dress up, and never give up. So we have a few other people here. Thank you, everybody. We have Jill, Isabella as well, and CM Hawkins is saying, whoops, Mark and Helen, hello, pink hand waving. Yeah, okay. Yes. And Isabella's saying, on the eye. Yes, definitely on the eye. That is such a cool image. We do have also, if you like your eyes, we have some gorgeous eye stamps as well. There's a couple of different versions, so please do check out the website for those. The new website, I should say. And if you can't find what you're after, then I'm sure send us an email. We'll be able to help you out. So let's get started. So the first one I'm going to use is I'm going to do some spraying first. So let's get all nice and inky first, shall we? Jeanette has said that she's going to craft along. I'm not sure you're going to do that, Jeanette. You may not want to. Right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I've just got my cardboard box, really, because I'm going to do some spraying inside that box, or a lid of a box, actually, I should say. Now, one thing I will say is that obviously when you're using the stencil, is this would be the kind of the white. This part here would be the white of the eye. Now, you could possibly mask that off with a piece of post-it note if you cut it to the right shape. I'm not going to get bogged down with that tonight. What I am going to do is I'm just either going to use maybe a Posca pen to colour in the white, or possibly use this stuff here, which is really, really cool. I would recommend that. Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White, really cool. Especially when you don't want that, you colour underneath to pull through onto the white. So that's really cool. So the first thing I'm going to do is, let me just move those comments. I can see what people are commenting on. There we go. Somebody's a Facebook user saying, "This is Mark. This is a nice surprise." Look, please put obviously with the privacy settings. Please do put your name afterwards, because obviously I can't see who it was that said that. But yes, it is a surprise. I know. Back on it big time. So lots of plans ahead. Obviously involving everything visible image, but also I'm going to start doing something else which is really exciting. More of that will follow later on. I'm not going to tell you what it is now, but it's something exciting anyway. So you'll see it if you sign up to the subscribe and sign up to the notifications. You will obviously be in the first to know when I go live and what it is I'm going to be doing next. So please do that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I've got a piece of white 6x6 card stock. I'm going to get some sprays out now. I haven't quite decided what colours I'm going to use yet. I think I'm going for a nice bright colours on this one, and we may do another one which could be a little bit darker. So we'll give that a show. So let's grab some colours out. Now these are obviously these are distress sprays. Now I may use some oxides as well. We'll see how that all goes. I'm just grabbing a few colours now to decide where I'm going to start. I don't have a habit of starting light to dark or dark to light. I kind of mix it up. Sometimes I do some light and dark and then just see what happens. There's no set plan. There's no right, no wrong. It's just whatever you really grab first of all. And I'm going to have to grab this one. I do like Pick Raspberry. So let's get this. Oh, and Isabella's saying, you haven't got it, Isabella. You need to get the stencil. Really is cool. So I'm just going to grab a few sprays here. I like that pink. I may come back in with that afterwards. We'll see how the rest of the colours merge together. What other colour I use? Oh, peacock feathers. The thing is knowing when to stop. And I never know when to stop. So we'll just carry on and then we'll see what gorgeous creation we'll get. Oh, fossilised amber. Now you can see I'm mixing these colours. A little bit murky, but that's good. I like that. And I'm going to do a little bit of drying in between, and we're just going to see what comes out. So I'm just going to brush end and hold this down. Hazel saying, news is always exciting. Yes, it is exciting, Hazel. Again, it's something I kind of like. Yeah, I came up with this idea of doing something different. Well, I'm not going to say now. I'm going to shut up, because once I've got it in plan, then you'll know all about it. So Yeah, I'll stay stum on that for the moment. You'll just have to keep guessing. And no, I'm not going to answer you. So we've got some lovely colours going on here. Now, I always find that sometimes, I don't know about you guys, but when you're at home, maybe you find that maybe a colour's too dark. Maybe you don't want it this dark, and I totally get it. I've gone for that myself, you know. Sometimes I'll put a colour on, I'll go, oh, whoops a daisy, and I didn't want to do that. That's fine. The best way to do is just to carry on. Don't give up. So I'm just going back in here with another colour, and not because it's not too dark, it's because I kind of plan on doing a little bit different here, or I like a little bit of that. And I think I'm going to go back in with, now I'm going to go back in with the picked raspberry oxide probably to finish this colour off. Oops, I'll swap hands now. I am right-handed. So we just want that a little bit. And I like those speckly bits as well, but I like that. It's really cool. Now one colour I do need to finish off, I think. Mustard seed. So you can see that there's no rhyme or reason, there's no right or wrong in this. It's just going with your gut feeling as to how it's going to look when it's finished. And I like the way sometimes that those colours will kind of sink into each other, and that's all part of the creating. You can see how inky my fingers are already. So this is where you just got to, you know, trust the process and keep going. So I'm just drying this off now, and once I've done this, finished this drying this one layer, there is another colour I will add on top. And I like doing this because I think it adds this added element to it. One of the things I like to do is come back in with a white. This is a picket, we'll call it picket fence, but it's basically a white. Now this is the spray stain. Obviously it does soak in a little bit, but it does kind of add that added depth that you're after. And sometimes if this doesn't work, then I've always also used Lost Shadow. Lost Shadow is a great colour as well. So let me just stop that just for a second, and we'll go back in with, and you think, oh no, what have you done now, Mark? But no, you just keep on going. It does actually absorb, so that's all good. Just carry on, and I'm going to use a little bit of Lost Shadow. Shake it side to side. That's what you're supposed to do, not up and down. I know. And I'm just going to go about there. This will actually lighten up that just a touch. So just go back in. Let's get this dried. And as you're drying it, you're going to see that white kind of absorb into the cardstock. But you do get a little bit of residue there as well. So that's great. So how's that looking now, everybody? Oh, Jill's saying she needs the pink one. Which pink one was that, Jill? Was that the picked raspberry one? There's so many comments I can't keep up. Oh, hello, Maria. All right. Oh, have they? Oh, excellent. That's brilliant news. And Maria's saying that the company that she works for has just got an account too. So, oh, Visible Image account. That's great. Awesomeness. And Jill switched to YouTube. Yeah. So, now there's not much difference between YouTube and Facebook, but you know, each to their own for the preference. We are streaming to them both. So if you do have a preference, then go with that. I do believe that it's streamed in HD on YouTube. So if you want a slightly better quality, then please head over to YouTube. Or stay on Facebook. It's up to you. So now that's looking pretty good. Let me just move this box out of the way so you can see that in all its glory. I'll just zoom in just a touch so you can see a little bit more. Oh, wrong camera. There we go, let's have a look. So now we can see how that's looking. And don't forget, this is going to be covered with the eyes, so you know you're going to get that lovely, lovely feel to it. I think that'll look really nice. I think that's lovely. That's a lovely background. And if you're not getting inky, well, you should. Take that just back out. Right. Okay. So next thing you want to do. That's straight. I'm just sorry. Just trying to reorganize my. Right. Okay. Next thing we want to do is get the stencil. So what I'm going to quickly do is I'm just going to tape this down just a touch. Get my tape. Just quickly take that down, just lightly on those corners there. I'm just holding that down. I mean, probably I should really dry it a little bit more, but we're just going for it tonight. It's nice that we can do this in the evenings. There's no time limit. Well, I have my own internal clock as to I'm watching how long it takes to do things, because I'm conscious of how much time I'm taking up of your time as well. So we're trying to get 2 cards done in the hour with a couple of different techniques. So I'm going to place that stencil on top. Now, do you see what I mean about that? If I'd have cut out possibly this shape here and stuck it down on my piece of card, I could have probably masked it off completely and had that white area. Or maybe you wanted to use some, what else could we have used? Oh, we could have used rubber cement as well. So we could have used some of that. Some of the liquid cement that you could put down, rubber cement, that would have masking fluid, that would have masked that off completely. But we're not going to do that tonight. That's just another technique which I will show you again another time. Again, they're great techniques, by the way. Right, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to take this down a little bit more. So tape on my stencil down now. And then I'm going to put some texture paste through it. So let's just take that down. Try and get it as flat as you possibly can. That's good, all good. Right, the next thing we're going to do is I'll put my glasses on. So what we want is, I'm using tonight is, I've got some of the Distress black texture paste. It's a great texture paste. I know there's lots of other texture pastes. This just happens to be the one I've got. So I'm just going to open this up. Oops. And as you can see, it's black. It's been used a little bit. When I used it some. And I'm just going to grab my palette knife and I'm just going to grab some paste, and we're just going to work out. Now, when you're doing pasting through stencils, try and be mindful of the way the stencil runs, because sometimes on delicate areas you maybe not want to go that way, especially up in this area here, because you don't want the paste to go underneath the stencil. You want it to go so you would flow some of the paste that way, and especially here as well. So any piece that's not attached to something else, you may want to go in the opposite direction. It's just a trick or a pointer that you may want to just be careful and wary of. Sometimes you're going to get bleed through and you're just going to have to live with it. You know, I do. So yeah, it's just how much you do it and how often you do it. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. It's just the nature of putting a paste through a stencil. So you just have to go with it, and fingers crossed that we're doing this all right. So I'm just kind of going in a few different directions here, trying to make sure I get as much of that covered as I can without messing it up too much. There. So try not to go through it too many times, and we'll take that off now. We'll just, and I didn't do it again. I'm gonna have to clean this now, because I know I should have brought out some water to wash it off, but I'll just have to use a baby wipe. So I'm just cleaning that up. Okay, and I should take this off. Where's my knife? So I'm just gonna gently neatly remove that. Just read a few of the comments there. Thank you everybody. I know I do appreciate you all being here. And I shall just lift this piece off very carefully now. We should have. There we go. How about that? That, I do believe, looks pretty good. Just hold it up to you so you can see a little bit more. How about that? How does that look? Doesn't that look really nice? Do you know what?
It's all fairy.
Sorry everybody. I just my bowl of water fairy has just arrived, and she has actually just brought me a bowl now. So now I can safely put my dirty stencil into my bowl of water. That's good. The only reason is that so many times I've done exactly that. I've pasted, whether I've been doing a TV show or I've just been doing a live, and I've forgotten the water and I've pasted through and I've just left it to one side. Excuse me. That's that cold still. Left it to one side. It's dried and it's just no good. There's once it's dry, it's impossible to get off. So you just have to suffer and buy yourself another one, or buy two. I normally buy. I've got two of everything, so I know I shouldn't do, but I do have two of everything. So let's get back to the stencil. Sarah's saying my lovely assistant. Yeah, she is lovely. She's not so lovely tonight though. She's full of the cold and looks, well, I'm not going to say what she looks like. She always looks beautiful, even if she's ill, okay? Anyway, so this is what we've got. Now, really, you should leave that to dry, and then I'll go back in with that with the white pen. So what I'm going to do now is I shall kind of artificially dry it. Now, you shouldn't really artificially dry it, but I'm going to, for the sake of TV and liveness. So I'm going to dry this off a little bit. You just got to be a little bit careful that you don't want to start bubbling your paste too much. So you're just going to dry that lightly there. And I have noticed, I will show you in a second, that weirdly enough, or by absolute fluke or chance, that the way I put the paste on, it looks like I've got like proper lashes. I think they look really cool. But that looks amazing. It's like a kind of galactic eye watching down upon us. But that looks really cool. I like that. Again, you can do it any way you want, whatever colours you want to. So this is one technique using sprays and texture paste, and they both look equally as good. Maybe some people don't like using texture paste, some people don't like using sprays because they can get kind of messy. But I do like them. And this, you're not going to get, you're not going to get a stencil with an eye on like this. This is, I challenged myself to create a stencil, an eye stencil that looked like an eye. Really hard to do, especially having the right kind of links in and everything to make it look like an eye. Not an easy task, but I think I nailed it there. So let's have a look at this now. So let's dry this off a little bit more. I'm just wary that I don't put my finger. You know the finger test of when you feel whether it's dry or not, and then you leave a fingerprint in it. I'm just going to give it a little bit more, I think. Sarah Little saying Sarah Little saying that we're just so cute. Really? I don't know about that. Right. So I don't know. Jeanette, did you decide to craft along or not? Are you doing this or not at all? Or are you just watching tonight? I don't mind you watching, it's fine. Maybe we should do like once. Maybe we should do a craft along as well. I'm gonna have to decide how we do it, and if you've got any ideas, because obviously some people have got all the products, some people have got some of the products, and it's to know what products most people have got, so that maybe we could do a craft along. And you know, it'd be great to show those makes. That's another idea for another YouTube day, I think. So I'm just drawing this a little bit more. Sorry to be boring you for this bit, but this is a needed dry. Right, I'm dried off enough, I think now. Now the next thing I want to do is, I think I need to just sit down for this section. Right. So, oh yes. Do you know, it's pretty much dry, and I could probably paint around. Yeah, I can probably paint that. It's a little bit puffy, and it's a little bit, it's not 100% dry, but it's good enough. So, now, we're talking about whites. Now, most people have got jelly roll pens, such as these ones here. They're great pens. You know, you can write on black card and it comes up white, brilliant. But if you try and use these on top of colour, especially oxide colours, is you will find that this white will quickly turn to the colour that's residing underneath. It kind of absorbs the colour. You'll find that like with those kinds of pens, and I also find it with Posca pens as well. So if you've got, say, Posca pens, you will undoubtedly get some bleed through. That means that the colour underneath, the white absorbs it, or they merge together, and it becomes like a strange, like yellowy, whatever colour it is. It's just really weird. Not the best. And the only thing that seems to work is this. Now this has been around for years and years and years. Basically come from the comic book industry, where obviously they're working with black and white most of the time, and they need to make sure that, especially when they used to do lettering and things, that the lettering bubbles didn't show any like second generation when they're printing them. So using the bleed proof white just masked everything off, and when they've scanned it in for printing, it looks absolutely amazing. So if you don't have bleed proof white, you should get some. I'm going to use a brush now with this. I've got a few brushes to decide which one I'm going to use. Oh, I think I'm going to use one of my Hemi brush. I'm not sure where I got this one from. Right, so I might use a Hemi brush. I might be needing a finer brush as well. So, well, that's another Hemi brush. Right, okay. So we use a Hemi brush. So again, sometimes it has a little bit of, it gets thicker when you stir it. It kind of mixes all the. Sometimes you get a little bit of like liquidity on the top. I kind of just stir that in, but it works fine. I mean, I stir it up a little bit and it looks great. So I'm just a little bit of a mix, and then we're just going to add some white to this now. I say it's fluid. Is it? No, in fact, it's kind of a medium kind of paint, and I believe that you could put it on thicker or thinner, depending on whatever you're doing. So right, now the first thing, I'll start with this area here. Trying to be careful not to go on my black, considering I spent all this time drying it, so we'll just do our best now. Sometimes better to turn your work as you're creating as well. So I'm just going through that. So this is where it comes to life. Now, one of the good things about this is that when this white is dry, you can basically add something on top of it as well. So you can add extra color. If you want to maybe take some of the brightness of the white off, then maybe use an alcohol pen on it as well. So I'm just quickly going through this now, just while I'm doing this now. I may do this, come back to it whilst creating the next card. But the time now, I'm concerned about my timing. My idea was to do 2 cards, and we'll still try and get those 2 cards done. So I'm going to colour this in and see where we get. So I'm trying, stay in the lines, Mark, stay in the lines. Should use a finer brush, but we're just going with this one. I have got quite a few brushes. Now I think by now, you know, if you'd have used a different kind of white, you would not get the opacity and the whiteness that you have with this stuff. It's brilliant. If only they paid me commission on that. So, just go there. But I don't think they need commission. I think they sell enough of it anyway. They don't need any help. So I'm just going round. Just going nice and as neat as you possibly can. Again, you know, if you find that maybe you would be better off with a pen, then try the Posca pen, one of the finer ones maybe, and see how you get on. But failing that, maybe it'd be a better idea, if you don't want to do this, masking it off. Helen asked me exactly the same thing tonight. How are you going to get the white? This was exactly the reason how I was going to achieve that. Something there, that's fine. So this is the therapeutic part of the evening. Okay, and now we're starting to come to life a little bit now. Oh, there we go. I think Helen's given a link as to where you can get the stuff. Oh, it's £12. Then again, it does seem a lot of money for a tub of paint that's that big, but it's going to last you like forever. Seriously, once you got it, you're going to probably have the same paint for years and years. And I've had this one for a long time, and well, I'm not even halfway through down the bottle yet. Not even a quarter. So, and I've had this for quite a while. I mean, the thing is, this is a big image. I mean, you probably, if you're using it, then you're probably not going to need it the same. Now, what you need to think about is possibly, sat down here now. So what you need to think about is probably thinking about that you could flick white splatters with it as well. So that would be another great idea if you wanted to do that. You don't just physically have to paint with it, but it's good for adding highlights. So it's entirely up to you how you use it. So I need to paint a bit more. Paint evenly, Mark, he says. So I'm just going to let that dry a little bit. Not going to be too finicky. Now, even if you went over onto the black, now there's ways to get rid of that. My trick and tip for anybody is Sharpie pen. So even if you made an error and you didn't want to keep it like that, then just use a Sharpie pen. And I will just do that highlight down the eye. So I'm going to let this dry now, I think, and we'll do another one. But this time we're going to use, once this is drying, so I can actually just create an actual card and finish this off. So once this is drying a little bit. Now, what you could do is quite easily go back in with some different colours, and that's what I would do with this eye. I would probably go back in there and possibly give it some different highlighted colours on the eye. But we'll see how we get on, time dependent. Let's do this part here as well. Again, just follow that around. Most of the work is already done for you. You just got to highlight some of those areas and bring it to life. So zoom out on there just a little bit. Oops, didn't come too. Yeah, so you've got the idea of where it's actually going, and it's starting to come to life now with this eye. But what you don't want to do is when that's dry, I would go back in probably with an alcohol pen, which I'll do next. I'll let this dry just for a second, and we'll do the other card first. Come back in with the with a grey alcohol pen, and that will just bring that to life. Your eye will become the centre of attention then. So we just leave that to dry for a second. I'm just going to put my brush into a piece of. Oh, I'll put it in that there. That's fine. Right, next thing we want to do is I'll put this to one side, and we're going to do a similar card, but this time I'm just going to. So we've got another piece of card here. I'll put that to one side. Hopefully that should dry quite quickly. I'll tell you what, I'm going to put it on the radiator and it should dry a lot quicker. Right. So for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my blending tools, and I'm going to basically blend some colours through, and then instead of using a paste on the stencil, I'm going to blend black ink through that as well. So let's just bear with me whilst I get some colours. So now I'm deciding whether I want to do something similar or something a little bit darker. Do you know what I'm thinking? This could be a crafty okie going on, so I'm going to choose violet. Please feel free if you want to shout out a colour for me. Someone to go with a violet. Something. Ooh. Ice spruce. Strange combination. That might work. We'll see now. Mermaid Lagoon. Yeah, always a good colour. So right, I'll tell you what. We'll try a few colours, and I might add more in or add less in. We'll see how that goes. So I don't even know if I've got ice spruce in the in distress ink. We'll see. I'm using just 2 distress inks and 1 oxide. That's a strange combination, but let's go for it. So let's go for something. We'll go use a bit of Mermaid Lagoon. Not being too fussy as to where we're going with these colours at the moment, but we'll create something as we're creating. This is the wilted violet. We'll go back in with that blue there. And very dark, that colour, I like that. Okay. What colour? Oh, turquoise. What do I have a turquoise? What colour's turquoise? Peacock. Is that peacock feathers? What distressing colour's turquoise, Jeanette? I'm being naughty by actually using. Mixing those colours up. This again. If I don't like this, I'll soon let you know. We'll see how this goes now. Where's my purple gone? Use right, okay. Mermaid Lagoon. Got that way too dark there for some weird reason, but that's fine. We'll go with the flow. That's very, very dark indeed. When it's too dark, it'll annoy me. So we'll see how we get on. But then again, it may work with the eye, so we'll see. I'm not being too careful about blending. This isn't going for perfection. This doesn't need to be. Oh, I'll tell you what, I will use that eye spruce, even though I haven't got the right. That's eye spruce. Oh, that's different. That's not the colour that came. Oh, then again, it's come out slightly different. Should have cleaned that up, Mark. He says. I have a muddy eye spruce. Okay, that's fine. This is very dark. I'm not even sure I like this. We may have to plan B it. Do you know what? I don't like that one. If you're not happy, change it. So I think I'll use another piece of card. And we'll go for the right. I really need to cut this down. We'll cut this down afterwards. So we'll do orange there. Whoops. Tell you what I need to do. I need to cut that down. Just measure that up for my card. Right. Let's see what we're doing now. An orange or mustard yellow. Yeah, well, it might be something like that now. We'll see how that goes. Orange. Where's my mustard yellow? Aha. Mustard yellow. It just shows really that sometimes that I haven't blended for like what seems like ages. But that's not quite true. It's just that sometimes when you do a lot of spraying, you kind of forget how things can look. So we'll just go through with that as well. That's a strange colour that's coming out together, I must admit. So we're just going to the orange now. Jeanette's laughing. That's fine, Jeanette. When things go wrong-ish, then they go wrong, but it's fine. We'll fix it now. It's going to be I did say it was going to try and be a darker card, but that's not happening at the moment. Spice marmalade. Oh, that's my ink, right? Okay. Do you know what? I'm not having one of those. I'm not having one of those good days. Actually, I must admit. Right. Do I decide to? I'm going to leave that and come back to it. I'm. You know when you get flustered. It's one of those days where I'm not 100% yet, so bear with me. Right, let's get back to creating with this one, shall we? So it actually is quite dry now. So I'll just move. We just get this one card actually finished, because I'm looking at the time now. I'm thinking, well, I did say it was only going to be an hour, and I did promise to do 2 cards, but one great card is better than 2 mediocre cards. So let's put this to one side. I'm just going to quickly wipe my space here. As all things live, some things don't go according to plan. Either you decide to carry on, or you say, no, Mark, let's go back to what we were doing originally. So we'll carry on with this one. And I'm happy with that, so we're going to carry on with where we were. Okay, so the next step I want to do is I want to get some pens out possibly, and we'll see what colours we can create with those. So the colours I'm going to get, I'm going to possibly get a nice light greyish blue. We'll see how those colours come out. So I'm looking at, these are the alcohol pens that I've got here, a nice combination of different colours. Again, you know, just go with whatever you think is going to be best for you. I do have lots of alcohol pens, so yeah, just go for it and see which ones that you think are going to work the best. So the first things first is I'm going to go with a light shade. So I'm just going to find the right kind of a piece of card that I can just test this out on. Always nice to test something out first, just to make sure it's not too dark. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in with this lighter shade in the corner. And it is quite light, so very hard to see, but that's fine. I'll go in with the darker one next. Yeah, that's working a lot better, isn't it? So that darkness, now you can start to see that. And we can kind of blend it out a little bit with a lighter shade. Which is the lighter shade, that one there. So I'm just going to sit down and do this now. Now one thing you want to do is think about is that with the eyelid, you kind of want to darker and then out to light. And you see how that's starting to come to life now? Taking that slight brightness off the eye there, it's going to make all the difference. So you're just going to go on the underside there of the eye. Just add a little bit of shade to the top area there. And we'll go in with a slightly darker colour. Again, you don't even have to be you don't have to be the best colour in the world. This just kind of works. It really, really does. Just add in that hint of shading to the area. It makes the eye more three-dimensional. I mean, feel free, once this is all finished, if you want to colour that in and then possibly add glossy accents onto that, that would be absolutely amazing. So I'm just going to carry on there. Just to start. Hiya Dina. You haven't missed anything really. You missed a slight mistake and I just left it to one side. Basically, we're continuing with the first card that I was going to make. The second one, I just hadn't decided on the colours I was going to make. And then I started blending and I wasn't happy. So let's go back to this one and get it finished. And then you can see the completely finished project. So that's where we are basically. So now this is really starting to come to life. Now I do have a card blank. I will stick this down now so I can do that. So let's have a look at the card blank. Okay. So I'll get some tape. So just have a look at which one I've done there. So just have a look, see that will fit there. Looking good, I think. Now, I mean, consider it's all pretty flat. It's starting to look kind of quite dimensional. And all we've done is spritz the background. We've put texture paste on. We've put some white, some of the white bleed-proof white on there, which is really cool. So let's stick this down onto our card blank, being careful not to press down too hard. So I'm just using my tape gun, which is an 80G Scotch one. Anyone who does a lot of card making will know what these are. So we'll turn this back over and just find. Bear with me whilst my big head is in the way whilst I just line this up. Okay, sorry everybody. There we go. So I'm just going to press that down. Oh, that's looking good. Now I do have a sentiment that's going to go on there, and I haven't quite finished filling it in, so we'll carry on just doing a little bit more detail. So I'm just going to add. See, just again, this paint, the bleed-proof white, you can obviously colour over it with your alcohol markers. It looks really good. Again, makes all the difference. And just adding these little details here onto the eye, it really just starts to make it look three-dimensional. So I'm just going in with that, and then we'll just pull in with another colour. I've also got, I wonder if my blender pen will work doing that as well. So, oh, blender pens work as well on top. That's good. So there, we're starting to get that eye to come to life. That looks. I'm happy, really happy with that. What do you think, everybody? Oh, Isabella's asking a question about the website. It doesn't list Canada as a. Yeah. I'm not sure about why that doesn't work at the moment. It's a technical question that I will have to leave with somebody else. I don't know whether Helen knows. Oh, there we go. We will be shipping to Canada. Oh, Helen's saying it definitely needs glossy accents. Well, you know, maybe I should do that next. What do you reckon? Glossy accents, everyone? We'll just carry on making one flipping awesome card whilst we're doing it. So I think I'll use. Now, it's weirdly enough, this is a the colour that I'm using for this highlighting is a brown grey blend, so it's not an actual grey. It's good though. I do like that. And I might just go a little bit darker there. And then we can go with the next colour. Just bring those colours out. Now, don't be too concerned because you can obviously use your blending pen and you can really blend that out. It does look really, really nice. And sometimes you don't want it. You don't want it too. What does it say? Too perfect, because obviously eyes aren't like that. But I think that's starting to the eye is starting to come to life now. Right, next I'm going to do glossy accents. So we should put some glossy accents on, shall we? Okay. Let's find my glossy accents. Now, so let's add the glossy accents. And I've actually done this before, is I have artificially dried them off with a heat tool, so we'll see how that goes as well. I think my glossy accents, you could use crackle. I wonder if you could use crackle accents. That would be different on there, wouldn't it? What do you reckon, everyone? Crackle accents or just normal glossy accents? Ooh, I'm thinking just normal glossy accents. So let's have a look at my tools. See what I need. So my glossy accents has nozzle has dried up again. Maybe I've left it off too many times. Okay. Right. So let's use the glossy accents. So all I'm doing is the glossy accents on the eyeball. It's on the pupil itself, I should say. Sorry, the pupil. I'm doing that on the pupil. Now, one thing to remember is that when you're using the glossy accents, it will bring that colour out. It'll make whatever colour underneath really pop more. So I'm just trying to get my glossy accents out. And I shall buy myself another new one now. So let's just get, oh, there we go. My blockage is unblocked itself. Right, let's go in with the glossy accents. Just go around that there. Just be very careful. I don't know who thought of glossy accents, but it's a brilliant idea, must admit. It's one of those things that you wish you'd have thought of yourself. Okay. So we're just going around there. I'll highlight that as well. Oops, there we go. Wow, and that's kind of filled that in now actually. So you can see that it's pretty much filled in. Might just sometimes with the glossy accents you've got to help pull it to the edge there. Just very carefully. You don't want any gaps really. And sometimes you don't want to go back in with the bottle again, but just coax the glossy accents to hit the edge there. Okay. I think that looks good. There we go. Right, so I think I'm happy with that. I will dry it just a little bit. Be careful not to heat it too much. Now I know it's not dry yet, but you can see how that is. That's definitely not dry yet, but it's getting there. I just got to let it go naturally. So I do have a sentiment that I'd like to put on there as well. Now, I think the one I'm going to use is so this sentiment is from this set, which is the Brave and Strong one. And it's close your eyes to the past, open your mind to new beginnings. But there are some really nice sentiments in that set. Love them, absolutely love those sentiments. Helen's sentiments, they are. So I think I'm just going to put that in the center. See, that's nice, isn't it? You do not, you can put that to one side. You can, in fact, you could put it quite often in different places. Do I want it in the center? Or am I going to go right today? Let me just see. Right, center. I don't think I'll go right. Okay, let me just go and get some silicone glue. Somebody was asking about silicone glue earlier, actually, weren't they? And the thing about my silicone glue was that I'd actually used it all up. So I do have to buy myself some more silicone glue. So what I'm going to do is, actually no, I found my other one. Always have two. I've got another one. This is the pin flare one. When I buy them, I normally buy two at a time for very good reason, because I use a lot of it. So we'll just get some glue out. Okay. So just get my glue, clean my pointy stick. Right. Okay. So we have that one there. And so I think we're pretty much done with this. Let's have a look now. I think I'm going to place it here. Now, quite often, I won't do this. I will be I'm a central person, but this here really does work. I think that works really well. I mean, you could do it any shape you want, but I will just zoom in there so you can have a look at this. No. Now the glossy accents is drying, currently drying, so it's not dry at the moment, but it is going that way. So I'm just going to I shouldn't have heated it, but I think I quite like that look actually. It's a cross between crackled and just normal glossy. If I put glossy over the top of it again, you're going to get even a more raised look, and that's what I probably will do afterwards. But that looks pretty good, I'm thinking. It does make a difference, doesn't it? The glossy accents really do kind of start to bring it to life. When that's dry there, I'm going to go on over with another coat of those glossy accents just to really, really bring it to life. I mean, if you want to really jazz it up, you could quite possibly put some little bit of sparkle glitter in there as well. That would make it look amazing as well. But again, I do like that. So that is the card for today. I think we're pretty much done. Let's go back to the front camera. So thank you everybody for watching. I do appreciate it as always. Doing things live, some things work, some things don't work, and it's not a case of that they didn't work for a reason. It's just a case of that it's one of those off days, but in the end we got something pretty cool, I think. So yeah, I'm really, really pleased with how that's come out. I hope you guys are too. I hope it's given you a few ideas as to, you know, the kind of things that you can do yourself. Again, it's just basically two, one stamp set and a stencil, and a few sprays. If you haven't got the sprays, you can do it other ways as well, whether you're doing watercolors. But that, for a little make, that's kind of what I was wanting to achieve. Again, if you want to go back in there, if you want to flick some white on it, please do so. If you want to go back in and do some more colouring, I would do that as well. Again, just in time, whatever time you've got there, you're going to have more time than I am. So please feel free for any ideas, hints, tips, and please do come back. I've got more things that are coming shortly. Do I give you a hint now? No, I won't give you a hint now because that's not a surprise otherwise. Please do subscribe and ring the bell for those notifications. Do check out the website. If you've ordered before on the old website and you want to order from the new website, you will have to put your new account details in. But I'm sure they give you something for doing that. Don't quote me on that, but I'm sure every time I've seen the pop-ups when I've gone to the website myself, it's like sign up for X amount or whatever discount. I don't know what it is. On your first order. I think it's on your first order, so don't quote me on that. Try it out and see. But thank you very much. As per normal, I'll just say a few more hellos to anybody who's joined last. Well, we have Nicola, Sarah, Claire's here as well. And so yeah, it's just so nice to see everybody here. I hope that gave everybody some ideas as to what you could create. So I do appreciate that. Again, have fun. If you want anything, do check out the website. If not, I'm sure one of our stockists will have it. If you don't know who the stockists are, please get in touch and we'll point you in the right direction, depending on what country you're in. So take care, have fun, and I'll see you soon. New designs coming up shortly, so stay with us for that. So something really cool and different. So thank you, everybody, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye now.